Welcome back to another episode of Bucko Booth, everybody. My name is Benson Fector, and I'll be the host of your show today. For our live listeners and our usual live listeners, I do want to take a quick moment and apologize for the time switch here. The original plan was to do 9 a.m. this morning, and that's what we advertised on the Bucks Dugout Instagram account last night, but unfortunately some things happened today, so we had to do a time switch. Again, just want to apologize to any of our live listeners or usual live listeners who happen to be listening to this archived. I do appreciate you tuning in, and hey, it was a better week of baseball for the Pittsburgh Pirates, so we will dive right in and do our week in review. On Saturday, the Pirates lost Game 2 of their series against the Cardinals in St. Louis by a score of 3-1. The Cardinals would finish out the sweep on Sunday. Devastating loss, score of 11-9, but the winning would start from here. The Pirates would head to Anaheim to take on the Los Angeles Angels. A very good win in the first game, win by the score of 10-2. Mitch Keller with his first career win. On Tuesday, the Pirates would beat the Angels again, winning their first series post-All-Star break by a score of 10-7, and they would drop the finale by a score of 7-4. Off day on Thursday to travel back home to Pittsburgh. Homestand started with a bang on Friday night. Walk-off win against the Cubs, score of 3-2, and the Pirates lost the game this afternoon in shutout fashion, losing 2-0. Setting up for the series finale tomorrow, Little League Classic, Williamsport. The Pirates will have their one and only Sunday night baseball game, so be sure to tune into that tomorrow night, 7 p.m. ESPN. See your Pirates play on national TV. Transactions from the week for the Pittsburgh Pirates going back to Saturday. So on Sunday, the Pirates sent catcher Francisco Cervelli on a rehab assignment to the Altoona Curve. They optioned right-handed pitcher Parker Markell to Indy, activated right-handed pitcher Clay Holmes from the 10-day injury list, and sent right-handed pitcher Ricky Davis on a rehab assignment to Indy. On Monday, the Pirates placed right-handed pitcher Richard Rodriguez on the 10-day injury list, retroactive to August 10th with right shoulder inflammation, and recalled right-handed pitcher Mitch Keller from Indy. They also optioned right-handed pitcher Ricky Davis to Indy as well. On Tuesday, the Pirates sent catcher Francisco Cervelli on a rehab assignment to Indianapolis. On Wednesday, Jose Osuna dropped his suspension. He is suspended for 5 games, so he has served the first 2 games of that suspension. He'll be eligible to return on Thursday night when the Pirates take on the Washington Nationals. And they activated right-handed pitcher Keone Kela. He had finished serving his 10-game suspension for his role in the fight back in Cincinnati. And on Friday, the Pirates recalled shortstop Cole Tucker from Indy and option right-handed pitcher Jeff Hartlieb back down to AAA. Let's get into our weekly awards. Player of the week goes to Josh Bell, a .280 average this week, 7 for 25, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. The league's MVP is back. Well, he's not going to win MVP this year, but what he was doing in the first half was MVP-type stuff. He did have about a month-long slump. But although I do believe Clint Hurdle should be fired at this point, his plug-and-play routine that has worked so well for him over the past 8 years as Pirates manager has continued into Josh Bell. I mean, he did only have 7 hits this week, but 4 of them were for home runs. He was hitting the ball much harder, 9 RBIs. He's back to leading the majors in RBIs, sitting on 98 right now. Josh Bell is definitely back, and it's going to be one of the things to watch here down the stretch. In a season that is lost, it's going to be fun to see how Josh Bell finishes out 2019, see if he can get to that 40 home run mark and get over 100 RBIs. Pitch of the week goes to Chris Archer. He had a start, went 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, walking 2 and striking out 10. I know the peripherals don't look good in that, but he actually pitched very well in that outing. He just had a little bit of a rough 4th inning in that game, but 10 strikeouts from Chris Archer. He really has turned himself around in the second half. And the interesting thing about this past start is that Elias Diaz was actually the catcher for him rather than Jacob Stallings. Now, if you've been following the Pirates for any length of time, you would know that Jacob Stallings has sort of become the personal catcher for definitely Chris Archer as well as Joe Musgrove and sometimes for Trevor Williams. But it was nice to see that Chris Archer could have a 10 strikeout start, his second of the season with the Pirates. And doing that with Elias Diaz just gives Archer all that much more confidence. And with the terrible news about Jameson Taillon having to undergo Tommy John surgery, Chris Archer is going to play a big role in the 2020 season. He's going to have to really step up. Rookie of the week goes to Brian Reynolds, a 310 average, 9 for 29, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. What more can you say about the guy that should, in all honesty, be the National League's Rookie of the Year? Right now, he is sitting at a 329 average. Had a bit of a rough day going 0 for 5, but he's only 3 points behind Jeff McNeil, who is on the injured list for the batting title. And in all honesty, besides that, being second in all of the National League in that batting average, he's third in all of the National League in on-base percentage with 403, and if you extend that out to all of baseball, he is sixth. This guy should be Rookie of the Year easily. Fernando Tatis Jr. is out for the rest of the season. Mike Soroka and Chris Paddock have sort of fallen off. Chris Paddock definitely, not so much Mike Soroka. Pete Alonso's there. He's going to break the home run rookie record, but if Brian Reynolds wins this batting title, there is no excuse for the baseball writers to vote anybody else but Brian Reynolds for National League Rookie of the Year. Glove of the week goes to Adam Frazier. He had 34 total chances, 19 assists, 15 putouts, 5 double plays, no errors. And we talked a little bit on the show last week about how Adam Frazier really isn't the future second baseman of this Pittsburgh Pirates team. He was really given a big opportunity this year to be that leadoff hitter that so many guys have thought he could be in the past. And yes, Adam Frazier can hit, but it's just a matter of consistency, and he hasn't shown that consistency enough at the plate, in my opinion, to really earn that second baseman of the future position. Now, of course, it's all in there, and I think he maybe could, but at this point, the best middle infield duo that the Pirates could roll out there is Cole Tucker and Kevin Newman. Mix and match with them, see what works. But Adam Frazier, he's solid defensively. I'm not going to say that, but the best defensive and offensive move moving forward is going to be having Kevin Newman and Cole Tucker being the middle infield duo. The Pittsburgh Pirates, after securing a walk-off win the night before, fell without a whimper to the Chicago Cubs. They are now 7-26 since the All-Star break. The Pittsburgh Pirates came to the plate today with some momentum after a crazy ninth-inning victory relying on some of their younger stars. Today, they followed it up with a dud. Having a rough day with runners in scoring position is one thing, but this seems to be a constant theme for the Bucs this season. Today was no different, going over 12 with runners in scoring position and leaving 11 runners on base. The Pirates, they got busy early, loading the bases with one out in the first before lineouts by Melky Cabrera and Colin Moran ended the inning. The following inning, the Pirates once again put the leadoff runner on board when catcher Elias Diaz roped a single into right. However, this was followed immediately by a double play by Eric Gonzalez, who continues to prove he doesn't belong in a major league lineup. When the Pirates once again had base runners in the fifth inning, they proceeded to leave the bases loaded despite having no outs. With the top of the order up, Kevin Newman lined out before rookie Brian Reynolds struck out, followed by a Starling Marte flyout to end the inning. Meanwhile, Stephen Brault posted one of his best starts to date. Taking the rock to start, he posted 4 no-hit frames tomorrow. The strong note is the team will have another chance to win a series, with Mitch Keller 1-1 at the helm facing Jose Quintana 10-7. The Pirates should have a good chance to win the series as they play in the Little League Classic, which will be broadcasted on ESPN at 7 p.m. It's going to be an awesome day too, so if you don't have much going on tomorrow, I would highly suggest tuning into the Little League World Series. I'll have coverage of that. The Pirates and the Cubs will be attending games all afternoon, and then the game tomorrow night, if you're not familiar with the Little League Classic, this is the third rendition of it, the second time the Pirates have been a part of it. It's only Little League players only, so it is the players only watching the big leaguers play. It's an awesome event, and I cannot wait for the Pirates to win the series tomorrow night as they take on the Cubs in the series finale. Last year, the Pittsburgh Pirates made a last-minute trade with the Los Angeles Dodgers. How has the deal looked on the Bucs side of things? The Pittsburgh Pirates took advantage of last year's waiver trade deadline. Late last year on August 31st, it was announced that the Pittsburgh Pirates traded third and first baseman David Freese to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The move was expected as David Freese had an option for the 2019 season, and the Bucs were able to save a little bit of cash. Coming back in the trade was somewhat unheralded but young prospect by the name of Jesus Valdez. Valdez was signed out of the Dominican Republic as a shortstop, but he has also spent time at third and second as well. At the time of the deal, Valdez was a 20-year-old who was playing his first professional season, hitting for a mediocre batting average of .230. However, he did get on base at a .343 clip along with a .412 slugging. Furthermore, he only struck out 48 times in 60 games and walked 28 times. While his batting average was low and he was already 20 with no professional experience, it seemed like the Bucks got a real lottery ticket. One can see why the Bucks were interested in him with intriguing peripheral numbers. Well, so far this year, it looks like the Bucks were absolutely right to target the 6-foot right-handed hitter. Valdez has played this season at short season A Bristol. While he is about a half year older than the league average, he still lacks the same amount of experience as many of those prospects. This has not mattered for the now 21-year-old, as he has been lighting it up this season. Through 43 games so far, the right-hander has slashed for a .309 average. He's got a .400 OBP and slugging at a .455 clip. His on-base percentage is a start to focus on here, an outstanding .400 clip. However, it also helps validate his strong on-base percentage last season, despite a much lower batting average. This is because he is once again showing strong plate discipline, striking out 32 times in 43 games. Meanwhile, he has walked 17 times and has swiped 4 bags on 4 tries. Beyond his on-base percentage, it is also encouraging to see his slugging percentage at .466, 54 points higher than last year. His isolated power rate's slightly above average at 145, and he has posted a solid 137 WRC+. The fact that Jesus Valdez already looks like a disciplined hitter with above average pop is very encouraging. Yes, he is a little old for short season A Bristol, but he just started playing professional baseball last year. He is showing traits that the Pittsburgh Pirates want to see from their prospects. Hopefully he continues to do these things and move up the ladder quickly. Now, Neil Huntington, and we talked about this again last week, how the Pirates need to start holding their guys accountable, most notably Neil Huntington, Clint Hurdle, and Ray Searage. But he, over the course of his general manager career with the Pirates, has done an excellent job of going out and targeting these prospects, and really that's kudos to the scouting department as well. You take a look at the Tony Watson trade, for example, where they were able to get very, very intriguing prospect Oneil Cruz, who really was the highlight of that trade at this point, but also Angel Herman, a pitcher in that deal as well. And the Pirates were able to trade David Freese, a guy that they were looking to save some cash on, ship off to the Dodgers, and really Freese is going to get, that last month of the 2018 season, and then he's been with them for all of 2019. But they were able to get this Jesus Valdez kid, who looks like he is going to be an intriguing prospect moving forward. At the time of the trade, and really at the time of any of these, lottery ticket type trades, you can always dream about, what this prospect could turn into. But it's starting to look like a year later, roughly, that this Jesus Valdez kid is going to be special, and he's going to be one of the top tier prospects in this Pirates organization. And really this Pirates farm system collectively is starting to turn into one of the better systems in baseball. Recently they were ranked 19th by Baseball America. They've moved into the top 15 in a lot of rankings. But the Pirates, what they have, and the reason why they're a little bit lower in the prospect rankings overall as a farm system, is because they have a lot of top tier talent right now. Right, and the talent that they have is either, debuting right now, such as Mitch Keller, Cole Tucker, or they are guys that are right on the edge of making it to the majors and probably will make their debuts some point this September. Guys like Will Craig, Brian Hayes, Kevin Kramer, who's already made his debut. So you have those type of guys. JT Brubaker you can throw in there as well. Where things get murky, though, is the in-between area. If you look at the AA Altoona curve, the top prospect right there now is without a doubt Oneil Cruz. But outside of that, the Pirates don't really have any stud guys in AA that, when they make the jump to AAA, it's going to be a big deal. They just don't have that talent in the middle between the guys that are almost here and the guys that are at the lower levels. The lower levels, it is very exciting as well, notably Travis Swaggerty, Quinn Priester, Mason Martin, who is tearing it up this season, Ji-Hwan Bai. Like, they have a lot of exciting talent in the lower minors, and they have a lot of exciting talent in Will Craig and Ke'Bryan Hayes, who are probably going to make their debuts here within the next month or so. But a lot of